I dated my teacher, and it was the most beautiful relationship I've ever had, but at the same time, I can hardly talk to anyone about it. Part 2. She was everything I had been searching for. I loved everything about her, her sense of humor, the way she was sometimes playful, sometimes bold, sometimes affectionate. At the same time, she could be distant and cold, but I tried to understand because I knew our relationship couldn't last forever. I had always known. I knew that if she ever decided to end things, I would have to accept it, whether because of the age difference or simply because she was my teacher. Still, I enjoyed every moment with her. To me, she was beautiful. She didn't like me saying that, but what captivated me the most were her eyes. She wore glasses, but her gaze, her shy little smile, her voice, everything about her fascinated me. That was how things were until high school finally ended. It might seem like we would have more freedom after that, but at the same time, she became busier. She stopped texting me as much, started declining more plans. On one of our last outings, I noticed she was more distant. We talked about it. She admitted she could be cold and said she should try to be more affectionate, but I told her she didn't have to change. There was nothing wrong with who she was. We both knew we didn't have much time left together. We cried a little, and it was a beautiful moment. That night, we walked in the rain. I bought her a pastry, we jumped over puddles, and got a little lost in the city. Eventually, her birthday was approaching, and I wanted to get her something special. I searched for the perfect gift, bought it, and prepared a small bag with a few thoughtful details. That day was chaotic, and I ended up arriving late. She joked that she had already left, but she was just messing with me. We had a nice afternoon together. She showed me a few places, and I tried to give her an early birthday celebration. Everything seemed perfect. Or so I thought. I texted her that night, but she didn't reply. At first, I didn't think much of it. She often took time to respond. But then 2 weeks passed, then 3, then a month and a half. I sent her a message saying that if she no longer wanted to talk to me, she just had to tell me. But she never did. I was worried. I was sad, but I couldn't talk to anyone about it. I kept wondering, what if something happened to her? What if she lost my contact? What if she's trying to find me? I started college, and the months went by, and I simply had to accept that I would never get a response. The most beautiful relationship I had ever had, with the most special person I had ever met, and I never even got to say goodbye. I had to move on in silence. Only a few people knew about this, and even they found it hard to believe. I don't blame them. It's still unbelievable to me, too. I'm writing this today because just recently she finally responded to my message. She told me she was okay, that she had been very busy, and thinking a lot about how to reply, but that it was best for everything to end. She thanked me, and that was her goodbye. I had already said my own goodbye earlier. On Christmas, I sent her a message, telling her I didn't like how things had ended, and that even if she never read it, I just wanted to say farewell. So when I read her message yesterday, all I felt was happiness knowing she was okay. A small part of my heart wished she would magically ask me to go out again, but I know the best thing to do is cherish what we had, learn from it, and move forward. So the only thing I replied was, "Thank you. That's all I needed. Thanks again for everything." And well, that's my story. Thanks for reading if you made it this far.